Hey guys, welcome to TST Garage. I'm Bart, and in today's episode, I have a Honda CRF300L in the shop with me. We've already produced a bunch of videos for you showing you how to install some of our TST Industries parts on this bike. In this video, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We've installed a full exhaust by Yoshimura, and we've also used a Dyno Jet Power Vision product to flash this bike. Now we're gonna take it to the dyno, do a bunch of runs, and then show you what the bike produced. Let's go. And we are back. I hope you enjoyed the dyno run section. We have some results to talk about. We've run the bike multiple times in its stock form, and then we put on the exhaust and we ran it that way in that configuration a bunch of times. And then we subsequently tuned it and ran it some more. So what we see here is an improvement on the peak torque, peak horsepower, and what is more important to me is the entire curve shift up, which means the power and torque come on earlier and they go up earlier and everything looks a lot smoother. So there's not really a lot to say about the stock results other than below 5,000 RPMs, there is really just not a lot happening. On the power end, we see the bike actually dive off after its peak at about 83, 8400 RPM. That's really where it peaks out. It does have a plateau before that, but in stock form, it really dips off and follows a much steeper roll off. With the tune and the exhaust, we see that maintain a little bit longer. It does come off from the peak pretty vastly, and that's just what's gonna happen in a small displacement single cylinder bike. They're usually meant to be ridden in the meat of the RPM range. This bike kind of cuts off at about 10.5, 10.6. There's not a lot of usable stuff past 9,000 RPMs, but you make it more usable by throwing on the proper exhaust and a tune. Another feature I want to point your attention to is what happens to the actual power delivery and torque delivery when you go from just an added exhaust to a tuned bike with the exhaust. That is evident from about 4,600 RPM up. What you see is an even sharper increase in the power and the torque in those regions. And you also have a very smooth delivery of those two values. This is really where these configurations shine over the stock configuration. So in summary, what we see is that with the exhaust and the tune, we get a nice increase in performance. On the power end, we're just over 4%. We're right about 4.5% at peak, but we also see a vast improvement in the farther up RPMs. The bike is not too usable up there, but we've sort of softened the fall off at the end of the RPM range, and the come on before the peak is much steeper and sharper, and the power delivery and torque delivery have been smoothed out quite a bit. Disclosure about the amount of effort that went into this tune that we did on this bike. We really didn't take many days developing this tune. It was basically just simple, make sure that the AFRs are right, do a little bit of timing advance, just play with it a little bit. And this is what we settled on. The graphs you see on your screen reflect that. I know that if we spend maybe a day or two more on this particular bike in this configuration, we could find little snippets here and there and extend the performance of this motorcycle. That may happen in the future. For now, we're just going at it just to have some fun and see what we can do in a short amount of time. So this bike is actually a much bigger pleasure to ride now in this form. I've ridden it up and down the street around some local dirt trails. Next thing we're gonna do is take this thing out, do some trail riding and single track, and just put it through its paces. I anticipate grabbing a couple friends on proper trail riding bikes and go out there and see how this thing stacks up. So you can watch for that video on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you later.
Oh.